Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to see how can I deploy and to make some fix in my codebase to deploy this text summarization web app using Nuxt. So the thing here, okay, is that first let me fix some issue, especially relevant to the layout. Okay, so now here I'm going to fix this kind of issue. Okay, now let me switch back to the browser. Okay, and there you got it, right? So the thing here is that for some reason we have an unnecessary amount of so this does actually cover the entire this actually doesn't cover the entire so the entire width. So with adding here is too many. In the PG axis, we're adding is too many padding here, right? So there's actually no need to add in such amount of padding. However, we want is to, in fact, is to add. So let me reload this. So what we can do is just to remove the unnecessary amount of padding that we're adding here. Okay, we don't want that. Okay, so that'll be all for this, and let me switch back to the code here and jump straight forward to the application here, especially on the hero section components. Remove this padding, unnecessary padding that we're adding. Okay, okay, dog. And it's submitted, but for some reason it's not throwing that error, meaning that we are not handling that error here on the store. So on the store we're not handling is this error. Okay, so let me now handle this error using this helper function that comes with Nuxt. They use fetch and Nuxt. Okay, so this composable provides a convenient wrapper around use async data and the $fetch. It automatically generates a key base of the URL, and fetch options provide type hints for request URL based on server routes and infer API type response. Okay, but how can we, for example, handle errors exactly? Data pending refresh execute and error. So this is a helper, and this is a useful wrapper of this. Okay, so there you get it for this. Okay, this is pending error refresh. and then you get it. So on request, you can pass in these options. So on request error, handle the request error. But this is wait a single moment. Result in HTTP API.nuxt.def temp parameter value using interceptors. Okay, that's right. And local storage.set items equal token for this. Okay, so we also can use this interceptors provided by the wrapper, by the fetch wrappers. Okay, but async data returns the data pending, which is a is a boolean. Refresh and execute, which is a promise, and the error, which is a reactive reference. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So, alright, so this is the data pending. So pending is a reactive volume, and you got is the error. So they call this something called the refresh, which is an async data execution option, which it is a promise after all. Refresh and execute. So okay, but the data here that we are interested in is to extract this, okay, is to extract this data here, and there you got it, the pending error. Okay, and let's go to define is here something called loading as a reactive reference, but where the initial value is false. Okay. Yep, that's right. And anytime we start this, so anytime we store this dot value is equal to true. Okay, and if we receive the data properly, so if we receive the data, okay, or after we receive the data, we can set the loading value to the pending dot value. Okay, and so if there are any data here, this is what this is what we're gonna do here. Okay, if there are any data here, this is what we're gonna do. If there is an error, for example, if error exists, okay, so well, here we're gonna do is this. So question is, what is the error? Okay, so what does the error look like? Error dot value dot cause name message. Okay, if that exists, the status code. Okay, and here we're going to compose this Here we're going to compose is this message, which is here. Okay, so error value that if that exists, then show the message for that. And now let's going to go back to the browser. Here in the browser. Now let's going to see if this actually works. But if we're getting any error, we actually doesn't trigger this event here. It's not showing the prompt result. Interesting. Because in fact this isn't an error. API generate. That's what happened. No URL provide. No URL message. Status code, status message. The message, no URL provide. Okay. But which is this. Okay. The dot value. Okay. The thing here is that we're calling is generate here, but the problem is because we're calling is that and is and on our post we're throwing is a status code 400. So do we need to return this? But on the front end code, my question is this: it's like what do you have here? What do you have from this wrapper when I perform things like that? You throw this 400, that's right. But for some reason, but I'm not able to show that, or so the prompt result on the component is not able to show this. Interesting. The question is why. Since this is an async function, okay. Okay, now it does that properly. Okay, now we're receiving that properly, especially when we're receiving an error. 400. Because we're receiving is the data. here this error value is, and the message is this: no URL API generate. Okay, no URL API provide. Interesting. Okay, makes sense. No URL provide API generate. Dot value. Exactly. But on error, you get is this. No, this hot mode reload it doesn't work that well. Okay, error from this. Okay, so there is no need to parse that mess because it already contains that information that we want. Okay, that's great. That's cool. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so here we are in some validation here. Okay, so now to improve the UX UI here. Okay, so what we can is the structure is from the store here, and we can is export this from the store and import it in the component here. Okay, so we import this loading here. That's right. And what we're gonna do is on the disable here, disable property. On the disable property, we're gonna listen to loading. So for some reason, this hot mode reload doesn't work well with Firefox. It doesn't actually load that properly. So if it wants to add some or better exactly, so if we want to add some better improvement here like loading, here what we can do is, well, you know what, on the class property here, what you have is an object that you say, hey, do you remember the background indigo 500 if disable is true, or is loading is true, right? Meaning is that we're going to, for example, instead of making the URL for that on our store here, instead of making the URL for that, so let me comment this code here. still performing the, you know? Okay. Okay, cool, cool. Uh, I know we import some function here. Exactly. You're gonna only show this class when loading is true. That's right. So you're only gonna add this class when loading is true. Okay, which is great. All right, cool. So I don't know why it doesn't work here, but okay, for anything related to styles, it actually loaded. Interesting. You're gonna only you're gonna only allow this style to be injected if loading is false. So that's the whole point of this. Exactly. And then, well, allow this. Okay. So if for some reason we provide the rel here, um, like that, for some reason, if for some reason we provide this, error 400 no URL provide, API generate. Okay. So, if for example I just want to print this, but the URL give me a 50 words summary of the main idea. Then I get something called null. Result 429, you exceed the current quota, please check your plan and building details. okay, because it's this. Interesting. I get now this null. And I get this null for that. Interesting. Oh, because the server now is returning this is a result. Because after all, this is an okay, okay. This is how formatting is this answer. Okay, okay, okay. No problem. If error.value exists, show this. Okay. Otherwise this error.value.result. So I would like you to evaluate this expression. I mean, it's this. Holy hell. Is this. Is that exists? Okay. I will encourage you to evaluate this expression. So we're just going to reload this. Getting is this. Main idea. Is going to wait for that, and then he return is this undefined. This is if you get this 400 error, okay, which is great. Now the server is returning that using is some helper function for the backend. Okay, but when it comes to main idea here, You return is a 200. You return a 200, but you should now display is this. The value is on the result. But now you say this is null. The only thing that changes is that the only thing that changed was that. So data actually exists, but we'll need to evaluate the value here. Okay, now if we want to, for example, evaluate is the content here, summarize that in 50 words and explore ideas like the main idea. Now it returned null, my friend. The only thing that we changed is this. But for some reason, I don't get. This is an internal behavior, my friend. This is still an internal behavior, by the way. Because you didn't behave like that. Because you didn't behave like that. What's going on with you, man? What's going on with you? You okay? Now we're getting. Now I'm printing is this null. Okay. Jesus. No, I'm gonna send this. This actually worked as expected, but the only thing that doesn't work as expected is this. because it's throwing that as an error. Okay, because it's throwing that as an error. That's what happened. And if you're throwing that as an error, you're going to evaluate that value. The value dot result exists is the value dot result exists. Then you're going to put the result here. Otherwise, is the single value that you have from. Okay, here we go again. Nope. This hot mode reload doesn't actually work as expected. Okay, summarize using the 50 amount of words. Separate using comma. For that, in this case, it's main idea. And we're still printing. That is like, that actually is possibly. So, return this. Return this. Okay, to make our life much more simpler, return this. Yep, completely, man. Return this. Return the message, man. Return the message. Return the message. Period. Return the message. Okay. Yeah, return the message. Make it simple, man. Make it simple. Okay, main idea. And now it's not able to. You exceed the current quota. Okay, please assign that. Okay. Okay. So this allegedly should return is that. But now if I want to only print this, throw create error. Okay. Is this. Throw create error. Here you're gonna pass this, the error status. Okay. Yeah, because we're using is the helper function from using the helper function from in this case there is no need to return that, you just only throw that, as well as this, right? The error response dot data dot error dot message. Okay. Response status. You can parse int. I can parse int this. Can parse int this. That's right. And this is exactly what we're gonna throw for this another use case, right? But using is the create error for that. So with that, now we get is the proper error for this. Okay, okay, cool, cool. That's all. That's all. So now get status here. If I want, for example, make some modification in the form, for example, like this. Okay, so here I can say get status, get add all of them when it comes to and git commit this message, where in this case where in this case git commit minus m. Here I'm gonna say is fix or use utility error function on the backend on API. Use utility Nuxt error function on API. Okay, so git push origin main. And one of the great thing of this is that once you make that change, okay, Vercel, this hosting provider, automatically detect those changes by listening the GitHub Actions or these webhooks and started to build the application. Meaning, it created the entire pipeline using the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, the build step and then the test step, and deploy that code. Okay. So now you log out, you log in as earlier. Oh, that's right. Ready status. Okay, so if I open up here, no, the domain of the app, now I'm able to see is this. Okay. So because I'm using is the server-side rendering, I mean it's using is the static side generation, meaning that this actually won't work because method not allow API generate. Exactly, because after all we're using is the backend for that. So, but in any case, that gives me enough confidence when I'm going to deploy small applications on the internet, right? The thing for this. run result.value. Then you say git add all of this, git commit -m, clear input after submit. You push those changes to the main repo. Now Vercel detect this change made on the repo as a webhook and ultimately deploy the entire code. Make it so it build that code, so it fetch the code from the GitHub repository, install all the necessary dependencies, set up the configuration from that environment, then install the dependency, run some tests if you specify that, and ultimately deploy your code. So when I look here at the deployment, we have is this. So if I reload this, right, and then you say summarize, no matter what allowed, there you go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Is to see the know-how Nuxt works behind the scene. The intent is to see if open AI API set a quota, set an API called quota. I am using static site generation for demo purpose. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so git status here, git add all of it, git commit -m to readme. Okay, and then you push those chains to the main. Okay, that was actually quite illustrative. Totally. So with that, that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.